Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
This here is a true story about crossing the pond at night in the world's smallest cockpit, on the tanker, through the weather. Oh, and to the tanker crew who did that. Thanks a lot. We really appreciated that. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Well, there I was, crossing the pond, and you could see that I wasn't exactly fun.
So there I was, sitting on a dock near Cape Fear, North Carolina, trying to figure out how on earth am I going to get a show out this week to all of you. And it started to come to me. You know, I still have a couple stories or more from our time in North Carolina back in the first week of June during the Harrier sundown. And so a couple of those stories are coming to you right now. Vegas, a.k.a. Lieutenant Jones, as in Lieutenant Jones needs a ride, jumped out of a Harrier. Well, he was a mere flight student in the Harrier RAG, Replacement Air Group, learning how to use the Harrier as a weapon after getting his wings as a naval aviator. Jumped out of the airplane over the Neuse River, floats down to a golf course in Minnesota Beach, and the rest of the story you'll hear. And also a brief, ever so brief, because the band interrupted us so rudely while we were in the park during the week of the Harrier sundown. In fact, it was the afternoon after the sundown that we talked to Porky. And now Styx is calling me, so we're going to go into that shortly with Styx. Here comes the rest of the show in just a moment. So there I was talking to you folks, and my phone rang, and it was Styx because we were supposed to talk to each other, and here we are. So,
Here we are.
Styx, where were you?
Well, I would happen to be in Prince Edward Island.
No, not
now.
where are you. So where
Okay.
were you? That's
Where
a hint.
were we?
Bluebird
Oh, yeah.
strike, Styx.
So here I was taking off in my Diamond DA-20.
The show
And-
is so there I was. Try again. I'm sorry. I have to bust your chops, brother.
So there I was taking off runway 33 at a Skyhaven airport when all of a sudden I'm talking to nobody. I should be talking to you or anybody for that matter, but I'm talking to nobody.
Yeah. I don't even think you were talking to my daughter at that point.
No. In fact, we were having to scream at each other because the two of us were in the same airplane at the same time, taking off in my brand new airplane that just came out of annual, but was having some wiring issues. So we'll double back to that in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Tell me about it.
yeah. So you're Nordo. We still haven't gotten any pictures, so we need to go do a picture flight, a photo flight
no,
for
we
that.
definitely need to do
But
that.
I was just going to join on them. Well, they flew straight and level and maybe a turn or two and then get out of their way so they could go learn the airplane. But yeah, wiring issues. So as I stated at the opening here real quick, I got a nice video from Fig today. He's 6 days post-accident. He thought he was going to lose he's definitely going to lose his medical for a time being. And he has been on pain meds for 5 days. And today he woke up with a great day. No pain meds as of midday today. Hoping it stayed that way, but I tried to give him some free advice, Styx. I said, better living through chemistry. You always want to stay in front of the pain, don't you?
Yeah, you don't want to get behind that. Then you're having to use higher doses than you want to, and that's not going to help you in the long run. So
Yeah.
But-
So better living through chemistry. But I'll tell you what, I want to say it was 2 days ago. I was in North Carolina with Bugs and Rusty, who have both been on previous shows. And we did a FaceTime with Fig, and we were able to make him laugh until he needed pain meds. So we felt very good about that. Right? I mean, absolutely. You know, there's a saying that laughter's the best medicine. Man, there's some real truth to that.
Oh, there absolutely is. And actually, there's chemistry behind it, too. It releases endorphins.
Yeah. Okay. So he's in a lot of pain. He's facing the reality of some serious medical issues with his eye, hoping that he can regain his vision and keep the eye. And there was a 50-50 shot. If you're a praying person, please get down on your knees and pray for Fig Chuck Fig Newton by name tonight and ask for complete healing. Some people think that's hooey. I believe with all my heart that that actually works. I have seen studies that are evidence that it works, but that's just me. But he's going to be back with us soon and talking. And man, I'll tell you what, the world could have lost a real gem there. His truck was turned into something that looked more like an accordion than a 2500 GMC.
Yeah, no, and thank God he was in that truck. If he had been in anything else, he probably would have been a cookie.
A mort. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway. So let's briefly get back to your airplane. Oh, let me back up one more second. I'm going to do a couple quick thank yous here. First of all, thank you to Sal Marinello. You might have heard his name before because the dude has no financial sense of responsibility whatsoever. He keeps cracking open his wallet, sending us money. He sent us another $50. God bless you,
That's
Sal.
outstanding.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sal.
This all goes towards equipment and subscriptions, keeping the show going. I opened my email the other day and got a bill for almost $1,000 for just the recording platform we use. It's like, oh, ow, that's my favorite wallet. But you know what? It wasn't my favorite wallet. It's your favorite wallet. All of you who are Patreon and Donor Box and Venmo donors, you make that happen. I couldn't come up with that money time after time, and you do it for us, and that keeps it coming. So
it's almost like this whole thing isn't free.
Right? Yeah. And people want money for their tech expertise and stuff. Go figure. So, and there was one other thing I wanted to say. I forget what it was. Oh, okay. So the two other stories, I think I may have said them already, but I may not have. It was Vegas and Porky. Vegas jumped out of an airplane while in the Harrier rag. Porky was the XO of the last Marine Attack Squadron on the planet, and he talks to us a bit about what that was like in getting ready for his final public demonstration of the AVP Harrier. Man, what an honor that was.
Yeah, and you know what? Well, that was such an outstanding. That was such an outstanding event. So well done. Really impressed. And and what was awesome about it was they let the Aviate-B be the center of the whole thing. It wasn't about the people. It wasn't about
no senators chatting, no politician representatives. Absolutely. And as good a guy as the Commandant of the Marine Corps is, I got to meet him a few weeks back. He was actually a classmate of Figs and Bugsy's and several other Harrier pilots. So Eric Jones walked up to him, chatted with him. He's a regular guy. I'm sorry, Eric Smith. I knew that. Jones is Vegas, who was in Eric Smith. What a wonderful man. And of course, all his classmates were like, yeah, we all kind of knew it was either him or one other guy in the class. They were going to wear lots of stars and be important.
Always
folks.
That guy in class.
So, yeah. And Eric Smith gave a wonderful speech at the Marine Corps Heritage Foundation that I just found super inspiring. And it was all about, guess what? In the Marine Corps, leadership, taking care of your people, looking the other way when it's appropriate to do so, holding them accountable when it's appropriate to do so. And striking that balance is the mark of a good leader. And dude strikes it. So, dude, I've just called the Commandant of the Marine Corps, dude. So,
but you know what? If he's a man of the people, and you know what, can probably get away with calling him dude.
Just this once. So, anyway, all right. Hey, let's get back to your airplane. So you bought
before we even jump into that, we talked about Fig. We also need to talk about Bago.
Yeah, well, yes, we do. Thank you for that. So, Bago has been sick, lame, and lazy for the last, I'm going on 4 weeks now.
Poor guy. So what essentially happened for this poor guy is he had what's called a pathologic fracture of his knee. So he had what turns out to be a benign lesion on the left knee that gave way, which I think for some time he suspected to be arthritis, and it finally let go, and in a big way and in catastrophic fashion. So, but he's going to make a recovery, and he'll be still with us and helping to produce the show back again really soon. So keep him in your thoughts and prayers as well.
That's fantastic. The word benign is my favorite word this week.
Right.
So to all of you who have reached out to Fig and Bago, thank you. if you would like to, it's fig, F-I-G, at sothereiwas.us, or Bago, B-A-G-O, at sothereiwas.us. Bago wrote this note to me about how truly inspired he was by how many people reached out and gave a damn about how he was doing. And I'm impressed by that, by all of you who said,
Yeah,
hey,
no,
we're thinking about you. We're
we've
praying.
created a community here. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
And if you have a
So-
spare time, maybe just a preventative prayer for RePete and I, because our,
We're next.
probably
One of us is next. They come in
Yeah.
threes.
dead men walking. So hopefully
Right.
it's not going to be one of us.
Oh, man, no shit.
But anyways,
All right. So let's get back to buying airplanes real quick, and then we'll land the new airplane.
yeah, there we go.
So you bought a new airplane for for your son, who's at Embry-Riddle.
Yep. He
Chuck,
needs to build
who was on a
ours.
previous show. Yeah.
Yep. And the coolest thing, so this is probably, I never thought I would be in a position where I actually had an airplane, but we
Right.
picked up a Diamond DA-20. It's got a Rotax 80 horsepower engine on it, but this thing is fuel efficient like there is no tomorrow. So it'll, when you're cruising, it'll burn around 4 gallons an hour, which
Pisses
is,
me off, by the way. I burn about 10.
yeah, there's definitely, so, a lot of things go into consideration when you're buying an airplane, how old it is,
Yep.
what it's made out of, what its structure is, quality of the engine, and it's always a challenge because it's difficult to always put eyes on the aircraft and then to get somebody that you trust to actually do an inspection. But if you can swing that, you definitely want to do that, because there were some unique quirks with this plane, but fortunately, relatively speaking, they've been pretty minor. One was the fuel sump not working properly, but we were able to correct that without any major problems. And then there is the wiring goobering. But here's the cool thing, what a lot of people don't know that you could do, because I'm a very cost-centered individual. So one of the things that I actually
He's a cheap pilot.
I'm a cheap bastard. That's right.
No, pilot.
But
Cheap pilot, man. Pilots
and
are
I'm
cheap.
also, I also get an engineering background, and I'm a bit of a nerd. So I literally spent the first 2 weeks trying to sort out what went wrong on our flight. So Booz and I take off. She's going to check me out on the aircraft. And every time we go to transmit, the avionics master control circuit breaker pops. So it popped once.
The corrective action on that is to hold it in until it smokes and fuses itself closed, right?
Apparently, that's what the previous owner thought we should do, but that's just my personal opinion. So it popped a second time, and then now we're scratching our heads going, what the heck went wrong? So, pulled up the wiring.
I'm going to jump in real quick here and tell you. So I took off first in my Tiger with my son, and we're waiting for them to get airborne, and we're going to take pictures. We hear them take off, one quick radio call, and then gone. Nothing. I'm like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Nothing. Booz pulls out the cell phone and texts me, we're Nordau. So I go, that's brilliant. What I did is I then got on CTAF, Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, for the airport you were at. I texted her back, so go back and land. I'll make calls in the blind. And I made calls in the blind for you guys to go back and land so that other traffic would know to avoid. So,
So
creativity.
and then and then at that point, it really boiled down to, we're just going to get the plane on the ground. But, so we did that. And actually, what was pretty cool was I worked with the flight mechanic that we've sort of picked up through you, and working with him and under his supervision, was able to identify and actually correct the problem without any cost. And there's actually a whole provision for that in the FAR aim. And
let me hold on. I'm going to jump in here and give a free ad to Tom Morgera at T Aviation at KDAW, Kilo Delta Alpha Whiskey,
just
in Rochester, New Hampshire. He's an amazing mechanic and probably the cheapest rates in 500 miles. So if you need work on your airplane and you're in the Northeast, get over to Rochester, Skyhaven, and see Morgera, T Aviation. He's in Tango.
And
what a great guy.
Yeah, for the record, he did not pay us for that plug. And what I will add,
but he's gonna.
What I will add is that Tom, it was interesting in working through this problem and identifying everything. I'm now much more intimately familiar with the systems on my aircraft, and I'm in a
Right.
much better position to understand, malfunction or when something goes wrong or why something's not working right. Because really got to tear apart the plane, look at all the wiring, trace all the systems, understand the different components in it, and at a later date, we can go into some of the really cool details of this plane, but one of the cooler features of it is it's got a 13-to-1 glide ratio, which is insane. It's
Again, I'm
built up
jealous.
like a
You burn
glider.
less gas and you can burn almost a third farther than I can on a glide.
Yeah, yeah. I've already done
Hey,
I did a
I'm 30
simulated dead
knots
stick landing.
faster.
Yeah, no, you are. There's no question. But, maybe there'll be an upgrade in the future that might add a couple of snots on. But, you're not going to get there fast, but you're going to get there, and for a
Yeah,
lot
and you're
less.
going to have fun doing it.
Yeah. Oh, it is
Right.
the cool part about it is the little canopy dome that I've got. Man, the
Yeah,
view is fantastic.
it is
Um,
gorgeous.
I had it up for a sunrise flight, and it was just gorgeous. It was beautiful morning, crystal clear. It's just amazing. So I'm loving it. My kid's burning hours on it already. So anyway, I think it's time to land the plane.
It is indeed. So, real quick, thank you. Thank you to everyone who's on active duty, who served. Keep in your prayers and thoughts the families of those who died in the last week in the conflict
Yeah.
in Iran and who were in the attack. They were Army light anti-aircraft missile folks, as I recall, which
Yeah.
is where I started my career in the military. So you don't go thinking you're going to be one of the ones taken out, and they were. So thank you to all of them. Thank you for your service. Thank you for my freedom. And thank you to all who served and are now veterans and their families who made it possible. Yeah. A couple other quick thank yous, and we're going to kill this thing because this isn't the end of the show. We're going to go into Vegas next.
Right. But thanks for Steve Hamilton.
And,
Backbeat
that would be
Media. Dave
Dave.
Hamilton, right.
Okay. Yep.
Actually, I'm sorry, my bad.
And his
Dave
brother
Hamilton,
Steve.
Backbeat Media.
Yeah.
Without him, he helps keeps the lights on and the cash flowing. So it
Right on.
wouldn't work without him.
Advertising from backbeatmedia.com online. Thanks to Dos Gringos. Thanks to BDS Badass at bdsaviationphotography.com. Absolutely. And of
Don't
course,
forget our
our
merch store.
sponsors, OneSkin and DCArtworks.net.
Artworks.
Yeah. Tell them you
check
heard
them out.
about them from us. Yeah. And you mentioned a merch store. I think I need a
merch
bikini
store.
this week. It's hot.
Well, Fig definitely is going to need to wear a bikini to get over this eye injury.
He's got some time on the beach after hurting his eye. Yeah. He's not going to be flying. He's going to be doing beach time.
There we go.
So if you look at episode 220 Alpha, there's a picture of Fig screwing around in the hospital room. He's got Minion's eyes glasses on, and he's winking one of the eyes because, Fig.
He's Fig. Yeah. He's a Liberty risk.
Yeah. So anyway, here comes Vegas. Here comes Porky. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe.
Check 6.
So there I was, rendering a sword salute to one of my buddies in dress blues behind the hangars in Yuma, Arizona.
Behind the hangars in Yuma. So there I was that I know we're going to get to eventually.
Yes, sir.
However, are we having technical difficulties?
No, I just had the local sound turned
All right.
down a little.
So what I want to hear is, so you went to the rag a little before Sinbad and I went to the rag, or did you?
I think I was here for about 12 months.
When did you start the Harrier training?
Summer of '88, I think.
Oh yeah, that was a little before us.
Yep.
So I don't want to steal your thunder, but I know you had a little excitement in the training portion of VMA T203. Can you tell us
the training portion?
The training portion.
Sure. Well, I had to shell the bastard, and that I made eject over the Neuse River in May of '89.
Oh,
You ejected out of a Harrier over the Neuse River in May of '89.
That's
How did that happen?
Well, it's a great story. So there I was doing ACM with NATOP's model manager, Mike Buckley, Buck.
Buck!
Yes, Buck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And we were
Buck, where
about
are you?
60 miles that way over the ocean, some warning area. And I roll in on him and I hear Bitch and Betty go, warning, warning, electronic fuel control, which is not good, right? And was that about right? And
not good.
so, immediate procedures, wing level, knock it off, pull the power back, go to manual fuel, creep the power up. It's working. It's okay. And so, basically Buck says, all right, we're done. We were going on a cross country. We were going to go to Chicago that night. My girlfriend was going to come over from Kalamazoo. It was going to be a great weekend, but that didn't happen because Friday afternoon, I got an EFC light and I'm coming back up the coast. We passed Beaufort Airfield, perfectly good airfield.
That's right back there.
Yeah. And thought that wasn't good enough. So we're going to go to Cherry Point. Wind was odd. It was coming down, from the west, right? So we're going to land on the easterly runway, happens to run, like the extended runway goes through the Neuse River, right?
Yep.
So Buck lines us up and then gives me the lead and says, all right, we're going to do fixed throttle, wiggly nozzle, come in there on manual fuel. I'm like, yeah, sounds good. All right, I'm your guy. So here we go. We're, 5 miles out and
Can I call a quick timeout?
yeah,
I'm going to call a quick timeout.
go for it.
So for our listeners who aren't Harrier pilots, you said some things that I'm familiar with, and most of the people that are sitting here in front of us are familiar with, but what is a fixed throttle wiggly what is that?
Fixed throttle, wiggly nozzle.
So what's that mean?
That's when you keep your throttle where it is and you bring your nozzles in, and that's how you control your airspeed.
Thank you.
So you get to the landing configuration, wiggly nozzle, get the airspeed you need, keep the nozzles there, come in and land. Anyway, that was the plan. And I thought someone has heard me on the podcast.
Wow.
Call me up. So 5 miles out, we say, okay, here we go. Gears coming down. Gears comes down. And we didn't know at the time when in manual fuel, when you put the gear down, it dumps some fuel in the engine.
What?
Yeah. Who knew? Right?
Yeah. I don't remember that.
Buck's NATOP's model manager. He doesn't know that, right? So flames start coming out of my hot nozzles, which are the ones in the back. And Buck says, stop fucking with the throttle, right? And I'm like, I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not. And he goes, and then the flames go out. And he goes, okay, continue. And then we're like 3 miles out. It's time to slow down a little more. So I pull in some more nozzles, maybe 40, 50 degrees. And that apparently throws more fuel in the engine as well, or just taxes the engine to the point where it's on fire again. And I just have fire coming out of all 4 nozzles at this point. And Buck says, Vegas, you're on fire. Eject. And before he got to the third eject, I got in position and popped it out. So through the canopy.
Don't have to tell me 3 times.
No, sir. Through the canopy. And I'm out there and, you go through the safety stand down. They say, about half the people pass out, half people don't pass out in an ejection.
Yeah.
And you're always like, I'm not going to pass out. No way. So I'm hanging in the chute. Everything worked okay. And I can't see.
Do you remember the whole ejection?
I remember pulling the handle and then being in the chute. It happened. It was a low altitude, sort of low speed, but
Okay.
it happened pretty quick.
Okay.
And hanging in the harness. And I'm like, Mother, I passed out. I can't believe I go, well, how do I know I'm passed out if I'm thinking I passed out?
Right.
So I go up to scratch my head and it turns out my helmet was covering up my whole face. So I pull my helmet back just in time to see the Harrier go down in the Neuse I get a fix on it from a dock. So I was like, okay, I know where that went. And the next thing I'm going to do is like, where am I going to land? And like I said, the wind was blowing from the west that day. So it was blowing me back across the river.
Oh,
And I look over my right shoulder and I see a water tower coming at me. I'm like, oh, that's not good. And so I start pulling on my left riser, thinking it would do something, but it didn't.
no.
That's a round parachute. It's not going to do anything. But anyway, about 30 seconds later, I see the water tower going by me. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good.
Okay, cool.
What's
the
next?
water tower.
Yeah, that's
Thanks-
water
Things
tower.
are good.
What's
Thanks for
next?
looking up.
So I look down. I'm feet dry at this point,
Yeah.
right?
Okay,
And
cool.
I'm
Not gonna get wet.
I'm not gonna get wet. So I'm over Minnesota Beach and the golf course over there, whatever that's called. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll land on the fairway, right? But typically, my golf game, I don't land in the fairway,
No.
We get a
and
hold-
neither did I in a parachute. So I'm coming down. Here's the parachute. Here's me, and I get caught in the Carolina Pines myself. And I see him coming up. I cross my legs because I don't want any of that.
No.
And so I get caught in the Carolina Pines. The parachute doesn't, so he keeps going till it's like 70 degrees or so. And then gravity took over, and I just went through all these trees,
Oh, geez.
which was cool until like I was 20 feet off the ground, and I hit a tree as big as my thigh, and I broke it with my ankle,
Oh,
and
nice.
that broke my ankle.
Nice.
So then I'm laying there on the ground next to the fairway, and thinking, "Hey, I lived, right? That's good."
Yeah.
And this local came out and he said, "Oh my God, I saw you. You came out of the airplane and it was on fire. And you came out of the top and here you are." And he was so excited to be there. And I wanted to give him something. So I got a pen and paper out of my pocket, I wrote down the number for the ready room. This is before cell phones, right? And I go, "Hey, can you go to the clubhouse, call this number, tell them
This was a golf
course." Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It's like, tell them that Airplane 47 has crashed in the Neuse River and Lieutenant Jones needs a ride.
Lieutenant Jones needs a ride. There you go. That's a show title there.
So the guy, he looks really bummed. I go, "Well, then come right back. Come right back. I want to talk to you." He was like, "Okay." So he takes off. He goes, Buck's still circling overhead. And at one point, I hear Pedro coming. I'm like, okay, that's the rescue helicopter,
Yeah.
46.
Good
And at that point, I had my harness off, my G suit off, and the Marines came out from Pedro, laid it on the fairway, and said, "You got to put your stuff back on, or we can't transport you." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" Like, my left leg is, basically broken. I know it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, you got to put it back on, sir." So G suit goes back on,
Geez.
harness goes back on, boot comes back on, put me on the stretcher, and proceed to ram me into the door of the helicopter a couple times, which was not nice.
Yeah, no.
So anyway, I get there, get in the helicopter, take it back over to the base, cross the river, and it all worked out. Got 30 days convalescent leave, had a broken ankle, and came back to fly next month.
Outstanding. Okay.
That's amazing.
Two questions. First question.
Sorry, that's saying.
The fuel control
Yep.
failed.
Electronic fuel control.
And was the engine, do you know the outcome?
So
they
they-
pulled the airplane out of the river.
So I told them where the airplane was. They appreciated that. The barge went out. It dug up the airplane. The engine had come through the cockpit where I would have been,
Oh, nice.
through the nose of the airplane,
Oh, yeah.
down in the river, 20 feet down in the silt. So they actually got the engine out and figured out what was gone wrong with the EFC. I forget what it was,
All right.
but it was all laying in the hangar over at Mott's, or no, at the depot,
Yeah.
with the depot.
Yep.
And so at one point I went over to the depot, checked out I have a picture of the empennage. It's nice. It's in my wall. And I got the seat, like the ejection seat. And I asked a corporal for his wire cutters, and I snipped off the ejection handle. It was
Nice.
still on the
You had
seat,
that?
and I have that in my house too.
Nice. All right. Okay. Second question.
All right.
How tall were you before you ejected, and did you lose any height in the ejection?
I was about 6 foot before and
You
after
were
the
6 foot,
eject.
now you're 5'7"?
Now I'm like 5'10" and a half, but I think I think my doctor's lying to me,
All right.
and I'm really 6 foot.
That is an outstanding story. And I'm glad it worked out the way it did. Thanks, Vegas.
Thank you, Fig.
Now,
Appreciate it.
promise you're coming back
Yeah.
for a full-length interview
the renderings of Sword Salute.
And we're going to hear the rest of the Sword Salute because that story is called The Blues Brothers.
The Blues Brothers.
If I
And
know-
I heard Juice was here this weekend, too. So.
Juice
Juice
is
was-
not
I
here.
think, is Gallo in the area? Did I see Gallo?
Is Gallo here?
Gallo's on his way over.
So
All right.
is
The
Gallo
other
part
half of
is
the Blues
Gallo
Brothers
part of the
story.
Juice the
Yeah.
story?
That's affirmative.
Okay. So
We'll tell a little
may
more
have-
of the Blues Brothers in the next little
He
short
might be able
story
to tell
we
that story better than
We'll
I.
tease it.
Yeah.
We'll tease it, but we're going to have you back. Thanks,
right.
brother.
Thank you,
you.
Vegas. God bless
All
you.
right.
Thank you for your service.
Woo!
You know how much time I spend in the air. And if you're a pilot, you already know something that most people don't think about. Cockpit glass doesn't block anywhere close to all the UV coming through it. Every flight, every hour at altitude, you're getting hit with sun exposure, a lot of sun exposure, like a beach vacation's worth. Well, it's actually one of the reasons pilots and aircrew see higher rates of skin damage than almost anyone else. And here's my confession. Skincare is something I've just never given much thought to. I figured dry skin was just normal, part of getting older. I accepted it and moved on. And that's what I thought until somebody got me to try OneSkin. And I realized my skin didn't have to feel that way at all. This isn't something that just works better than what you're using. It actually works differently. Here's why. As we age, some skin cells stop functioning the way they should. Longevity scientists actually call them zombie cells. And those are what's driving the fine lines, the loss of firmness, and the dull, tired look. Most skincare just sits on top of that problem. OneSkin's OS1 peptide was specifically engineered to target those cells. That's a fundamentally different approach to what your skin actually needs. I've been using the OS1 face topical supplement and the OS1 eye topical supplement. And that dry skin I always assumed was just how my skin was. Gone. I honestly couldn't believe it. My skin feels better, it looks better, and I didn't expect to care that much about either of those things. But here we are. And I've already got people around me using it too. And with summer here, there's one more reason this matters, because up to 80% of visible skin aging starts with sun exposure. Between hours at altitude and summer on the ground, that adds up fast. OneSkin's limited edition summer bundles pair their core skincare with SPF. So the OS1 peptide is helping reverse the visible effects of UV aging, while the SPF stops new damage from stacking up. It's a complete system to summer-proof your skin. Check those out before they're gone. And this isn't just my experience. OneSkin is backed by 4 peer-reviewed clinical studies, over 10,000 five-star reviews, and Bloomberg has recognized them as a leader in skin longevity. You don't need a complicated routine to get healthier, younger-looking skin. You just need something that works differently. And this is it. Born from over a decade of longevity research, OneSkin is helping you unlock your healthiest skin now and as you age. For a limited time, try OneSkin with 15% off using the code SoThereIWas at oneskin.co/SoThereIWas. That's 15% off at oneskin.co/SoThereIWas. Code SoThereIWas, one word. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. And thanks to OneSkin for sponsoring this episode. So, there I was, staring at a wall that should have been impressive, but it wasn't. And then DCArtworks.net fixed that problem for me. If you've ever looked at your office, hangar, bar, squadron space, or the blank wall behind your Zoom camera and thought this needs something with authority, stop what you're doing right now and go to DCArtworks.net. Our newest sponsor is American-made, veteran-owned, and run by a gent named Derek Combs, who specializes in turning steel into statements. Not decor, not wall clutter, statements. Every piece starts off being precision laser cut, hardened steel, heavy duty, but lightweight, and then gets hand finished by Derek or one of his team. No flimsy metal, no bending, no mass-produced sameness. In fact, no two pieces are identical. If you like knowing the thing on your wall isn't hanging in 5,000 other homes or offices, then this is your guy. And here's the part that matters. 95% of what DC Artworks produces is custom. The design library on dcartworks.net is updated constantly, but that's just the launch point. The squadron logos, call signs, aviation themes, business branding, one-off gifts, big statement pieces, all can be yours. Case in point, I have a set of Naval Aviator wings almost 2 feet across, and they're exquisite. People don't glance at them. They stop. They ask questions. That's what Derek builds. DC Artworks also specializes in metal art fabrication, powder coating, and multi-material engraving, meaning depth, texture, and color photographs don't do them justice. He's a military GPC vendor, one of the lowest priced vendors in the business, with bulk and repeat discounts available. And for our listeners, this part is permanent. Use code STIW at dcartworks.net and get 20% off every order forever, even if another discount is already running. That's special. Most people won't do that. STIW is the code, 20% off anything you order from dcartworks.net. We're talking aviation-specific projects here, pilot wings, airline wings, all of it. But the real move is this. Go to dcartworks.net right now, browse, then contact Derek and commission something that's yours. Because when you see what's possible, your wall has already made the decision for you. And thanks to dcartworks.net for sponsoring this episode.
You got one?
Yeah,
You can say, so there I was, flying over Havelock on the last day before the last day. And
All right, here we go.
do it. We're getting warmed up for you, Turnip. We're getting warmed up for you.
All right.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
So there I was, leading the flight for the Havelock flyover the day before the final flight of the Harrier.
The last public demonstration of the Harriers.
That's right.
So welcome, Parky, XO of VMA 223, the greatest Marine attack squadron and the last Marine attack
It's
squadron.
definitely the last Marine attack squadron on Earth.
Porky, when did you look skyward and go, I want to do that?
Harriers or just aviation? in general?
Aviation in general and then Harriers.
Well, my dad was in the Air Force, so I grew
Oh,
up
that's
around
okay.
it. I know. C-130 guy. So Colonel Grant, C-130 guy. Bird dog. Sorry about that. So yeah, I grew up on Air Force bases. I was around it my whole life.
And you still went in the Marine Corps?
I know. There's something wrong. I asked my dad why he didn't, push me the other way. But no, I did. Yeah, been around it my whole career. So my whole childhood.
All right. And what's your commissioning source?
OCS. So went through, got my degree from Embry-Riddle.
All right.
And did a 10-week course and
God bless America.
just made it by the skin of my teeth.
Indeed. Well, we're going to have to get you back. The band is firing up here again. Jerks. But thank you very much for your service. Thank you for my freedom. God bless you, and thank you for the amazing demonstration.
Hey,
Thank you guys for coming out.
hold on a
Thank
second.
you for the
Oh,
support.
we got more. Okay.
He is the last XO of the last Marine attack squadron on Earth.
So we should say
Thank you.
we should say goodbye to the XO. Ready? 1, 2,
2, 3.
Goodbye.
So long, asshole.
Thanks, guys.
Seriously,
Thank
brother,
you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.
Well, you're
Yeah.
a better pilot than I am because I
Yeah,
couldn't make it go.
we all know that. That goes without saying, Fig. For God's sake.
Boy, I walked right into that, didn't I?